Hey and welcome to Fun Swedish. If you're interested in dating a Swede or if you're already dating a Swede, then this video today is going to be super useful. Because today we're going to learn how to say I love you in Swedish and some other love-related Swedish words. Plus, last week was Alla hjärtans dag, which is how we say Valentine's Day. So, as a late Alla hjärtans dag present for you, we're going to teach you the Swedish language of love. Let's start right away by spreading some Swedish love. The Swedish word for love is this one, kärlek. When you say kärlek in Swedish, then it's super important to pronounce it as a sh sound. And if you remember from our previous vowel videos, this is super important when we have a K with a combination of an E, I, I, Ö. And in this case, we have an A. So that's why the K sounds more like a sh sound. This is super important, so you don't say kärlek, because then you're going to ruin the Swedish love mood. So remember, this is pronounced as kärlek. And if you feel kärlek, then you're going to need this phrase. Jag älskar dig. This is how we say I love you in Swedish. Jag means I, älskar means love, and dig means you. In other languages, you might have different ways of saying I love you, depending on who you talk to. But in Swedish, you can say jag älskar dig for everyone. For your mom, for your soulmate, for your friend, or for your cat. Jag älskar dig. And if you ever break up with a Swede, or if you watch some Swedish soap opera, then you can hear or say this phrase. Jag älskar inte dig längre. This is how we say I don't love you anymore. Jag älskar can also be used for other things. For example, food. Jag älskar semla. Semla is this pastry that you're going to notice a lot of people will talk about next week. Maybe in the Instagram account, they might write Jag älskar semla. If you want to know more about this pastry, you can watch one of our previous videos about Swedish pastries. Then you might understand why Swedish people say Jag älskar semla. If you want to see that video, click the link here. But back to the Swedish love words. The verb älska has two meanings. It can mean to love, like the platonical way, or to make love, att älska. This second expression is a little bit old-fashioned, but you can still say if you want, ska vi älska, shall we make love? But like we said, this expression is a little bit more old-fashioned, but it might work if you're going after someone that is 70 plus. But in Swedish, like all languages, we have many ways to talk about that are maybe more used nowadays. But we wanted to keep this video a little bit more child-friendly, so we're not going to mention it today. Moving on. Just so you know, the expression jag älskar dig is quite strong. So maybe it's not the first thing you would say on a first date. So let's see what else you can say that might be more suitable for that kind of situation. We have two very good options if you want to tell someone that you like them. One is jag gillar dig and the other one is jag tycker om dig. Both means I like you. Many of our students, they ask us, what is the difference between these two? Well, there's no difference really. It depends on what you prefer. Because like most languages, we have many different ways to say the same expression. And the same thing goes here. You can say jag gillar dig, jag tycker om dig. For a Swede, it means the same thing. So which one you prefer to use is all up to you. But let's look a little bit deeper into these phrases. And let's start with the first one, jag gillar dig. The first word is jag. But when I say it really fast, we kind of skip the G in the end. So just sound like ja. Then we have the word gillar, like. Here, the G sounds more like a Y sound, ju. And this happens in Swedish when we have a G together one of the front vowels. E, I, I, Ö. If you want to know more about this, check our previous videos about the vowels. But in general, the G changes the sound. So you need to say gillar and not gillar. No, gillar. Jag gillar. And then we have the word dig. This one is a bit tricky because if you read it, you maybe want to say dig. Maybe we used to talk like this in the old Swedish. But when we say this expression nowadays, we pronounce this as dig, not dig. Jag gillar dig. And if you want to know more compliments in Swedish, then you can check out our previous video about how to give compliments in Swedish. So let's leave these phrases behind and let's check out more Swedish love words. Starting with this one, kram. Kram is how we say hug. And if you want to change it to a verb, to hug, then you can say att krama, to hug. But in Swedish, we have two ways of hugging. The first one is att krama. This is when you hug someone or something, but maybe that thing or person doesn't hug you back. Like in this example. Jag kramar min katt. I hug my cat. But of course, my cat doesn't hug me back. So that's why I need to use this version. Krama. Jag kramar min katt. But then we have a mutual way of hugging. Vi kramas. By putting the s in the end of this verb, att kramas, then we transform it to a mutual act. This thing is called reciprocal verbs in Swedish grammar. And some verbs can be constructed in this way if you do it together with someone, and if it's a mutual act. Vi kramas, we hug each other. In other words, the s in the end tells you that the person you're hugging hugs you back. Then we have the word kram. This is how we say hug, and this is very, very useful if you want to send a text message to Anders, for example. But be careful, because when you write to Anders, then you need to check that your autocorrect doesn't spell it as kräm instead. Kräm is how we say cream, or even worse, maybe spell it as kran. Kran is how we say tap or crane. Anders will be super confused, so check out that it's spelled kram, hug. Before we move on, put a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. Then there is the next level of krama, and that is att gosa. Gosa is how we say to cuddle or to snuggle in Swedish. So if the Swede tells you, jag vill gosa, then it means that they want to cuddle or snuggle with you. Very typical för fredagsmys, this cozy Friday thing we have in Sweden. This gosa thing can be done between a parent and a child or between people that are having some kind of romantic relationship. Okay, so let's raise the temperature a little bit. Let's start talking about kissing. In Swedish, we have 3 different stages of kissing. Pussa, kyssa, hångla. The first version gives us puss, pussa, pussas. A kiss, to kiss each other. This again goes well with family members and can be also used while texting. A classic combination is pussa kram. The second one is att kyssa. This should not be used with family members since it might involve some tongue. And when you say this expression, kyssa, then it's super important that you pronounce it like this and not kissa. Because kissa for us is to pee. That can be a big, big mistake that can totally ruin the mood. And last but not least, we have hångla. This one is absolutely not for family. Hångla is the Swedish word for making out, a make-out session, with many kisses and also some tongue included. It's kind of the Swedish way of saying French kissing, att hångla. This word can be a little bit vulgar, so we don't recommend it to say it as a pick-up line to a semi-stranger. But you might hear it when teenagers or young adults are gossiping about what happened in the party last night. De hånglade på festen igår. They made out in the party yesterday. And this is as far as we're going in this video today. If you like this video and our teaching style, then we have full-on Swedish courses as well. You can either go to our website and join one of our live courses starting soon. Arrange for us to teach at your company, or you can take one of our video courses. And if you buy one of the video courses with the link below, then we're going to give you a 10% discount. Plus, if you don't like it, then we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go and check them out! Så, vi ses nästa vecka. Hej då!